Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in once again to another episode of QuaranBean. This fourth episode of QuaranBean is going to be a very special one for several reasons. First, we've timed it nicely to coincide with the July 4th holiday. Second, I am Delcy David Bean the Fourth, so I always happen to think that anything of the fourth is pretty special. And third, while the pandemic may be far from over, with just about every state having lifted their quarantines, I think it's only appropriate that we make this the last and final episode of the QuaranBean series. Sure, we could have just come up with another name, but seriously, how could we ever top QuaranBean? So, with all that in mind, let's jump right in. I was remiss in not offering a chance to win any maple syrup during the last episode, so I want to make sure that I don't forget to do so tonight. So if you would like your chance to get your hands on a bottle of the very sweet sticky stuff, be the first to correctly answer this question by leaving a comment on this video in YouTube. Ready? Before Paragus was Paragus, we went by another name. And before that, we went by another name. Correctly name both of those names, and you win some Paragus maple syrup mailed to your house. And with that, I'm going to jump right into our main topic this evening. With many businesses looking to leverage their pandemic experience as a way to become leaner, many businesses are considering making work remotely a permanent thing for some or even all of their employees. While I think this can be a great solution, there are some very important things to keep in mind about the difference between a temporary remote solution and a more permanent one. While ultimately there are many factors that you need to be considering, let me just give you a couple of quick tips to make working remotely more secure and more productive. First, don't use a personal device. While many of us may have had to use a home computer in a pinch during the pandemic, there are an infinite number of reasons why this is not a good long-term solution. Second, since you are going to use a work machine anyway, make it a laptop. When you do decide to go into the office or head into a meeting, trust me, taking a laptop back and forth is a lot easier, and it avoids having to have two separate machines, one for work and one for home. Third, use a docking station with multiple monitors. If you're someone who's used to having 2, 3, or even 4 monitors at work, don't take a huge step backwards and try to go back to just using one. Combining this with a dock will make it super easy to go back and forth from home to work without any problems. Now, if you are someone who only uses one monitor, all I can say is that you have no idea what you're missing. Fourth, and this is maybe the most important, if you're going to work remotely a lot, you really need to make sure that your home network is secure. Residential networks were made to protect you from your neighbors stealing your Wi-Fi, not to protect you from hackers stealing your company's data. The best way to address this is to actually have your IT department set up a separate router within your home network that has a VPN back to your office. This ensures that you are safe, and it will also make for a much faster experience. Which brings me to my fifth and final piece of advice: don't sacrifice on performance. In a pinch, we may have all had to make some accommodations or even some sacrifices in order to work remotely. However, as a long-term strategy, that is going to cost a fortune in productivity. With today's tech, there's almost always a way to have the same experience at home that you do in the office. While the water cooler conversation won't be the same, the loading speed should be. If it isn't, get help in figuring out what's going on and how to improve it. I'm going to leave it there, but please know that I and the rest of the team at Paragus are always happy to help you in any way that we can. We care a great deal about our community and the businesses and individuals who call it home like we do. No matter how you handle your IT today, if you need some support or just have a question, we're always happy to help. And with that, I'm going to sign off for the last time, but before I go, I want to share with you all something that has always been very special in my life. I just so happen to grow up in the hometown of one of the best pyrotechnic companies in the entire world, and each year, at the end of the fireworks season, they would shoot the most incredible show for their hometown. While not many know this about me, I get more excited for that show every year than I did for Christmas. And in my life, I never missed a single show. Sadly, that show was canceled this year, but in the spirit of the 4th, I thought I would share with you all a clip from one of the previous shows. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday, and please stay safe.